Hi, my name is Melissa Lewis, and I am a student in the Masters of Recreational Therapy program at Temple University. Today, I will be presenting my poster, Resilience Reimagined, which uses the PERMA+V model to help adults overcome trauma and prevent suicidality. We're going to start with an overview and the impact of suicide worldwide. About 720,000 people die by suicide every year globally, and in America, just under 50,000 people die by suicide annually. Many different factors increase the risk of dying by suicide, including isolation, living in rural areas, experiencing barriers to accessing treatment, and experiencing mental illness such as depression, as well as trauma and adverse life events. All of these put people at substantially higher risk of dying by suicide. Additionally, experiencing trauma throughout a person's life, specifically emotional abuse, including bullying, isolation, thwarted belongingness, perceived burdensomeness, neglect, sexual abuse, and/or physical abuse, especially during childhood, are all significant risk factors for suicide. In America, one person dies by suicide every 11 minutes. And an estimated 1.6 million people attempt suicide every year. These statistics include only the reported deaths because historically, deaths by suicide have been undercounted and underrepresented due to stigma, overdoses, motor vehicle crashes, accidents, such as falling or drowning, and many other reasons. Some consequences of suicide include emotional disbelief, shock, pain, grief, loss, and many other emotions, as well as trauma to suicide survivors. Survivors can be families, friends, coworkers, first responders, school professionals, medical and mental health providers, and the community as a whole. There is also an increased risk, 2 to 3 times higher, of survivors dying by suicide. An entire community can be changed by a suicide. According to one study, an estimated 115 people are exposed to a single suicide, with 1 in 5 people reporting that this experience had a devastating impact or caused major life disruption. The annual economic cost of suicide is estimated to be $484 billion, primarily because of the significant cost of life years lost. Additional costs include medical spending, which totals $13 billion for fatal and non-fatal injuries combined, lost work productivity of $3 billion, and reduced quality of life from injuries after suicide attempts, totaling $10 billion. Suicide can affect anyone: students, community college instructors, active duty service members of the United States military, and many others. Just last week, we lost a prominent member of our community who was an instructor at our local community college. He was an actor, writer, historian, and lifelong learner who loved and cared for his aging parents. We also recently lost a 22-year-old United States Marine due to suicide while he was on duty at a local Marine Corps base. I work as a Certified Therapeutic Recreation Specialist, or CTRS, and a licensed recreational therapist, or LRT, in North Carolina on an acute care inpatient behavioral health crisis stabilization unit for adults. Out of all of our daily admissions, almost everyone has experienced trauma in some way, shape, or form, and very few people admitted do not currently experience suicidal ideations. One person who dies by suicide is too many. However, recreational therapy can help people increase their ability to be resilient and effectively cope with trauma, prevent suicidality, and ultimately save lives. The PERMA+V model is a multidimensional framework that explains the psychological well-being and has 6 components: positivity, or positive emotions, engagement, relationships, meaning, achievement, and vitality. The PERMA+V model is essentially necessary to the prevention of suicidality. As these key components are promoted, they empower people to develop and improve their resilience, allowing them to cope with and overcome adversity, trauma, and stress, and to maintain wellness amidst setbacks. This model was developed by Dr. Martin Seligman, who is recognized as the founder of positive psychology. He initially started with the PERMA model, then added the plus, and later the V was added to represent vitality. Positive emotions involve how we experience joy, happiness, interest, hope, inspiration, serenity, awe, love, and many other positive feelings, all essential ingredients to well-being. Engagement refers to becoming deeply absorbed or engrossed in an activity, which helps us remain present and discover activities where we find calm, focus, and enjoyment. This is often known as being in a flow state or in the zone. Relationships are key because strong social connections are absolutely critical, especially ones that promote love, intimacy, belonging, safety, inclusion, and strong emotional and physical interaction with other humans. Meaning is a sense of purpose or direction in our lives, a search for value, worth, or belonging to and serving something greater than ourselves. Accomplishment refers to achievements, mastery, or competence in any combination of those. It includes perseverance, persistence, determination, and passion for personal growth. Accomplishment involves working toward and achieving meaningful goals. Vitality includes optimism, nutrition, physical activity, and sleep. These four components strongly support well-being. Optimism is the belief that positive outcomes will outweigh negative ones, fostering resilience when coping with life stressors. Engaging in regular physical activity provides physical benefits and alleviates symptoms of depression, anxiety, and loneliness, while enhancing mental focus and clarity. Nutrition plays a crucial role in mental health, and improved nourishment has been linked to better emotional well-being. Prioritizing restful sleep and maintaining good sleep hygiene is essential for developing emotional and mental resilience. The PERMA+V model is often visually represented with the PERMA+V model listed in the center circle, and the surrounding circles each contain the individual aspects of the model, including positive emotion, engagement, relationships, meaning, achievement, and vitality, with arrows indicating examples that fall under each area. Next, let's discuss the connections between the PERMA+V model, resilience, and effectively coping with trauma and suicidality. Positive emotions are essential for building resilience by creating a more positive and hopeful outlook. They encourage a proactive approach to overcoming challenges and empower people to recover more quickly from stress, adversity, and trauma. Research shows that utilizing our personal strengths in new ways to become completely engaged in activities enhances happiness, reduces depression, and empowers people to overcome challenges by focusing on their personal strengths and the task itself to reduce stress and redirect focus away from negative thoughts and emotions. Supportive relationships provide valuable support and encouragement during difficult times, enhancing our capacity to recover and alleviate stress, building resilience in the face of adversity and trauma. Meaning cultivates resilience by helping people focus on what is truly important to them, giving them a sense of stability or an anchor, and a reason to persevere through hardships and significant challenges. Accomplishments encourage resilience by fostering a sense of effectiveness and confidence in facing future challenges. Vitality, including optimism, nutrition, physical activity, and sleep, significantly enhances mental and physical health, resulting in improved resilience. Numerous research studies have determined both strong direct and indirect relationships between increased resilience and decreased suicidal thoughts and attempts. Some implications for recreational therapy practice include ways we, as recreational therapists, can enhance the quality of our programs and interventions by embedding the concepts of the PERMA+V model into our therapeutic programming. Many different recreational therapy interventions align with the PERMA+V model and may be effective because they are multifaceted, where several interventions can positively impact multiple areas of the model. Recreational therapists can implement creative and expressive interventions involving music, art, writing, drama, and other activities to foster positive emotions and develop a more positive outlook. These interventions inspire joy, gratitude, and optimism, and cultivate emotional resilience and decrease the risk and prevalence of depressive symptoms and suicidal ideations, and empower people to recover more quickly from stress and trauma. Other specific interventions include laughter yoga, gratitude journaling, aromatherapy, mindfulness, and interventions using music. These and other flow-generating experiences, such as creative and expressive interventions like creating the art, music, drama, and or writing, gardening or horticulture activities, cooking, adaptive sports and games, mindfulness practices like Tai Chi, yoga, Qigong, and meditation all empower people to be fully involved, engaged, and focused on their strengths. This can enhance self-efficacy and resilience and improve emotion regulation and appropriate coping skills, as well as reduce the oppressive symptoms of the effects of trauma and suicidal ideations. Recreational therapists can also facilitate interventions that help build strong, supportive relationships, assist participants in identifying who is helpful and supportive, facilitate structured programs such as board games, card games, role-playing, interactive group storytelling, drama-based interventions, animal-assisted therapy, volunteer activities, and peer support groups. These activities all work to build and develop therapeutic relationships that help people to feel less like a burden and improve social connectedness. Getting people involved and engaged in meaningful, purposeful, and enjoyable recreational activities, such as therapeutic gardening, nature-based therapy, spiritual and or mindfulness retreats, volunteer projects, creative and expressive interventions like music, dance, art, or drama, and legacy projects, including scrapbooking, storytelling, video journals, family recipe books, creating artwork, journaling, and or writing letters, provide opportunities for people to derive meaning by creating a sense of fulfillment and purpose, which increases motivation and builds resilience. Creating and implementing programs that empower people to set and achieve goals, such as structured skill-building classes or workshops like crocheting, cooking, photography, painting, and woodworking, challenges people in productive ways, utilizing traditional and adaptive sports and hosting recognition ceremonies to celebrate accomplishments, all recognize people's valuable accomplishments and allow them to increase their self-esteem, build confidence, and a sense of achievement, which positively impacts resilience. Interventions that holistically improve people's overall physical and mental health related to the vitality component of the PERMA+V model include mindfulness activities such as yoga, Tai Chi, and Qigong, physical fitness programs like chair fitness, ageless grace, cardio drumming, walking, swimming, outdoor adventures such as rock climbing, kayaking, or hiking, nutrition and cooking classes, psychoeducation related to sleep, hygiene, and positive thinking and optimism, as well as information to develop positive and healthy habits and relaxation and stress management techniques such as laughter yoga, mindfulness-based stress reduction, or MBSR, mindfulness-based cognitive therapy, MBSCT, meditation, and breathing exercises. Additional wellness programs might include WRAP, WRAP, Wellness Recovery Action Planning, WHAM, WHAM, or Whole Health Action Management, or chronic disease self-management programs. While some interventions require specific training, others do not. As qualified recreational therapists and certified therapeutic recreation specialists, or CTRSs, we should ensure that we complete proper training for the interventions we plan to implement. We should also plan ahead, be familiar with which interventions that will work well with the specific people and diagnoses we serve, and be aware of any potential challenges that may arise either for participants or for ourselves. Flexibility and adaptability are important because interventions do not always go as expected. Beyond direct service delivery, the PERMA+V model can encompass the full role of recreational therapy and can be applied in additional ways, including participant education, collaboration with other professionals, and advocacy efforts. Participant education, which may include psychoeducation, empowers participants by providing them with information and tools to implement various aspects of the PERMA+V model in their daily lives. CTRSs, or Certified Therapeutic Recreation Specialists, may facilitate classes or workshops focusing on resilience, positive psychology, emotional regulation skills such as mindfulness and gratitude, as well as coping skills like deep breathing techniques and progressive muscle relaxation to promote emotional resilience. We can also assist participants to develop self-efficacy by helping them to set and achieve personal, wellness, and other meaningful goals, which reinforces their ability to effectively manage stress and other challenges they experience in life. To provide the best services for our participants, collaboration with other professionals across mental health, physical health, wellness, trauma recovery, suicide prevention, medical teams, and community organizations ensures comprehensive and continuity of care for the people that we serve. This interdisciplinary collaboration will ensure that recreational therapy interventions align with participant goals and individual clinical treatment plans. This will also empower us to address physical health factors that impact resilience. Forming partnerships with community organizations that share similar participant goals, such as mental health awareness, trauma recovery, suicide prevention, and the overall improvement of people's wellness. As recreational therapists, we also play a crucial role in advocacy, advocating for ourselves, for our profession, and for our participants' needs. Through advocacy, we can also raise awareness about mental health, trauma, and suicide prevention by collaborating with organizations that have similar missions to secure funding, legislative support, and policy change. We can help destigmatize mental health and suicide through educational outreach and provide resources and encouragement to those that are seeking help and assistance. Additionally, advocating for the expansion and increased ability of and access to recreational therapy services in underserved communities will improve access to effective resilience-building activities and interventions. The growing prevalence of depression, trauma, and suicidality drives us to seek innovative and effective solutions to enhance resilience in adults. By embracing the PERMA+V model, we can provide people with the tools they need to navigate life's challenges. As we integrate this model into our daily practices as recreational therapists, we can be part of the solution, cultivating a culture of resilience and instilling hope. Remember, life is not just about surviving hardships. It's about growing through challenges and thriving beyond them. As we strive to prevent the loss of even one life to suicide, we must embrace the belief that resilience is not just bouncing back, it's about moving forward and transforming pain into purpose. Together, we can transform trauma into triumphs and rewrite the narrative around mental health. Let's empower each other to nurture and develop robust resilience, one compassionate connection, one hopeful moment, and one courageous step at a time. Thank you.